is Blake Allen. I have Yatindra here with me, the former Director of Engineering for Pavillion Data Systems. How are you doing this morning, Yatindra?
I'm doing great, Blake. And how about you?
Pretty good. Just starting off the week on a nice, cold Monday morning.
Yep.
So kind of the whole reason that, you and I got together is kind of looking out at all these layoffs and all the things going on in the economy right now. There's a lot of people with a lot of skills and a lot of experience that are being laid off, but there's still so much opportunity out there in the market that people like yourself that have so much skills, experience, and background, we just want to kind of highlight that. And to anyone in my network as well, to just kind of show the different skills and experience you have and just kind of your subject matter expertise, as well.
Yeah, that's a great initiative, Blake, and I loved it actually. And once when you told me to let's work on it, means I really like the idea what you said that there are people who are kind of really hit by this layoff and they wanted some segue or some direction to start with, right? So this is a really good idea that people can start what they can do and what all the things they can come up with and how they can project their expertise in the field, right? Yeah.
So if you want to, why don't you delve a little bit into your own personal background?
Sure. So, having said that, I will start my introduction by telling about what I have been doing in my recent startup, and then go back in the time for my overall career. And having said that, I had been part of Pavillion Data Systems since 2019, and I created a complete niche of Pavillion Data Systems appliance in the market in media and entertainment vertical as well as life sciences vertical. And in those verticals, I created a complete team of engineering, highly performing engineers, and take the product what I had at that point in time to the market and provided those services to the customer that customers are really in need of high performance appliances and they can use them in their current setup without changing any of their environment. Yeah.
I see. I mean, I work with a lot of life sciences companies. Like, what was that product life cycle like in the life sciences space, for example?
Yeah. So if you ask me, I'll give you a complete solution what I built for a life sciences research organization in Berkeley, and
Okay.
yeah.
Wow.
So in that there was a kind of set of microscopes which were generating continuous pictures of protein structures and saving it on our appliance and other Linux clusters using DGX and the GPUs. They were trying to post-process those images and try to build a final protein structure and analyze them. So that kind of solution I means core solution I created for them, that okay, appliance, and on top of it a cluster which will kind of talk to the Microsoft microscope machines as well as Linux cluster as well. Okay, so
Okay.
that kind of structure of solution I created for them, and they were really happy with that because we were able to hit the performance numbers of 15 gigabytes per second write and roughly 20 gigabytes per second read.
I
Yeah,
see.
yeah.
That's actually kind of interesting. So just so if I'm understanding it too, because I'm not too big into the hardware. So there was like almost like three levels. There was like the appliances that UC Berkeley was using, and then there was the cluster of the kind of not virtual machines, the hardware and virtual machines on
Yes,
top of that, and then that was communicating with the Microsoft and the Linux systems that they were running.
yes, correct. So,
Okay.
if you ask me the structure of overall solution, what I created was Pavilion appliance and the cluster of solution node, which
Okay.
are going to talk to the whole Linux cluster as well as Windows cluster, which is going to put the data on the appliance and read back data and post process it and write it back, kind of.
I
So
see.
that level of solution they wanted actually.
Okay. And
Yeah.
is that like, because I'm studying a little bit in like the data engineering space, is it almost in a way like a data pipeline, or is it more just more the computing? It's like the computing is flowing through the system you created.
No, it is a data pipeline. It is a part of majorly data pipeline. So what was happening is a, a huge size of images coming onto the storage, and
Uh,
that from that storage you take it and do the post processing. Like NFL broadcasting you must have watched, right, recently,
yeah.
right? So in that, what happens is camera takes the video and give it to the machines. Means it will store somewhere, and from there, post processing individuals, right? They will post process the image, means video, and send it to the broadcasting company. So that is the overall media processing structure. It is,
I
I'm
see.
telling you in a very simpler way, but it is more complex than that. Okay.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah.
Thank you for making it simple for us because
Yeah. Yeah.
I could get lost
So
really fast.
yes. So having said that, similar thing you have to do in the media, this life sciences thing,
Hmm.
where you have to kind of take the pictures from microscopes, not from the real cameras, okay,
Hmm.
and put it, means save it on some place so that they can do the post processing to get the final picture or final video of how proteins are kind of structured, and how proteins being seen. Means protein, we talk a lot of time we talk about proteins, right?
Yeah.
We take intake as a protein and all those things, but how that real structure is, that is
Hmm.
what research organization is working on,
I see.
right? Yeah.
It sounds like though, just because I have an interest in the life sciences, that same process or that same tech stack, what else can did you apply it to?
So here is the thing, that where DNA processing as well, right?
I see. Okay.
Genetics and DNA processing, all those places you can do the complete analysis, post analysis after capturing the video or kind of microscopic images, right?
Hmm.
And do that, do save it on some high performance storage, and then take it to the post processing and understand that how DNAs are interacting with each other, and how RNAs are kind of helping to protect the future issues of the. You recently heard about the black hole imaging, right? That
Yes.
recently our scientists have found out that there is a black hole. They've got a picture of black hole as well, right?
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Right?
That's pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
So can you imagine, there they had around multiple petabytes of data to analyze, and they were all kept on Western Digital hard disks. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and that took around 4 to 5 years to analyze, because of the hard disk speed itself is very less, right? So with that, if you go for the high performance storage, right,
Hmm.
then this processing time will be cut down in months, not in the years. Okay, because you have to do apply multiple algorithms to analyze that. Okay, we are going in the right direction and everywhere, everything, right? So with that, if you ask me, this is kind of going to be killing thing, that if you have a high performance storage in your whole issues or diseases, right?
Of
Those things
course.
can be taken care completely. If you ask me, this one example, which I love it actually, that with high performance storage, what we have, right, nowadays, right, we could go to the length where uh, things can be very fast. We can analyze and put it into the usage of real world, right?
Hmm.
Earlier it was kind of slow. You do analysis once the data has been extracted, you do processing, and some later point in time you can kind of give the analysis. Okay, this is the behavior of all these things. Now you have fast storage that you can take it and use it into the your real time applications wherever you want to, right?
Okay.
Yeah. I can give you one more example of this high performance processing help of high performance processing whole analysis area, right? Where data analysis and data sciences you can use them, right?
Yeah. I mean, it's just pretty crazy. I mean, for the people that aren't aware, some people don't get the size of a petabyte, but correct me if I'm wrong. You know, there's 1,000 gigabytes, which is already a lot of data, in a terabyte, and then there's 1,000 terabytes in one
Yes.
petabyte. So
Yes, correct.
the amount, and you're talking, what did they have? Tens or hundreds of petabytes.
Yes.
It's
I mean,
crazy. There's no way humans could. I mean, it would take us years and years and years if we weren't
yes.
using, the processing power that we have to review this information.
Correct, you're right. So that is the amazing thing which storage. I found the storage area is so interesting because it's speed. Speed is less. If you can give more and more speed to the storage, then you can find that okay, these are the things which we can achieve in time and real time.
And just kind of to give everyone like a little bit of background with Yatindra as well, like you were working on some very cutting edge stuff. You were in a startup environment, and then unfortunately, the investors decided to pull back, and the whole company kind of went under. But if,
Yes.
let's say theoretically that hadn't have happened, where would those projects have gone in the future, you think?
So, from whatever I have been seeing, my expertise as well as kind of company's vision was that high performance storage, everywhere there is a need of high performance storage. Right
Yeah.
now we are talking on the video, right? That is being
Yes.
saved on some storage, cloud storage, right?
Yeah.
Right now you think about that storage is high performance and you are able to pull the data within a wink of the eye, right? So that is where you can think of that going to solve lot of problem by uh, delay of the post processing, and all those things can be taken care completely in that way, right? And once you do the automation of post processing thing as well, right, you
Yeah.
will be able to provide the live feedback and live transmission of all the communication what you want to do in the visual format, not just in the audio format. Audio format you have been doing since long, right? But now you can use this as a video format as well.
No, that's kind of interesting. I mean, you've been in this space for quite some time now.
Yes.
Yeah. So, I mean, you kind of see whether, unfortunately it wasn't Pavillion, but like, where do you kind of see this as the future, as the combination of the hardware, how do I put it, the optimization? We have so much hardware, but like hardware storage, but it's not smart hardware storage. And so you kind of see
Correct.
making it, describe it in a better way, because I'm lost for
Yes.
the correct thought.
Yeah, I know. I understand what you are what you are thinking about this storage and where it can go. So I'll give you one really fantastic idea that go and have a look at CXL. Okay.
Okay.
CXL is Compute Express Link. Okay.
Okay.
So in that they have come up with a lower bus level protocol named at PCIe level, where they can take the single storage or single system and expand it to other systems as well. And those systems which are connected with the CXL, they are kind of going to behave like a single machine which has common pool of memory across all the machines in the connected with the CXL links. Okay. And that is where the memory and storages are going there. Okay. And it is going to be kind of really fantastic if this technology is completely used in a way it has been designed. Then
Yes.
in a data center one rake or multiple rakes can be combined into the one combined and seen as a single system. Okay.
Oh wow.
Yes.
S It would be like maybe I like cars, so I give people like a car analogy. So let's say the biggest car engine we have is like a V10 engine, you know.
Yes.
That'd be crazy strong. But what you're kind of
Yes.
proposing is like imagine you could combine the power of several motors at once in one car.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
What I am suggesting here is car is a good example. Say
Yeah.
uh, you have multiple Civic, okay,
Okay.
okay, and multiple Civic they have some power. Say each and every Civic has some power of engine, right? And
Yeah.
you cannot use them kind of combined. They are individually going here and there. But
Yeah.
with this technology, they are combined, and you are going to have say single engine of say all the say 10 Civic are there. Then you have
Uh-huh.
10 multiplied by per Civic horsepower, okay, and they are together, and you can think that they are going in one direction, right?
I I think yeah, it's sort of funny you mentioned that this is a sidetrack, but if anyone has time to go on YouTube, are you aware of the smart car, the tiny little two-door car they used to sell like 10 years ago?
No, I'm not. I'll take a look at it after you just mentioned.
There's a video on YouTube where somebody took a like one of the most powerful Japanese motorcycle engines because it's a very tiny car. It's only three cylinders, and
Oh,
they
okay.
put this one of the world's most powerful motorcycle engines inside of the smart car, and it beat the Ferrari,
Oh
brand new Ferrari.
man, yeah.
So when you're telling me this, it's making me think of that. It's if anyone has time to go look at it, it's called Hayabusa Smart Car. But I digress.
I would definitely go and take a look at it.
It's
Yeah.
pretty funny because it just it's a tiny little two-door car like you see in Europe, and it
Yes.
beats a brand new Ferrari.
Oh man, that's amazing actually.
That's
So
pretty crazy.
yeah, so that is the thing, right? You get the off-the-shelf cars which are kind of in the general usage and
Yeah.
make a Ferrari out of that with the
Yeah.
combination of all of them, right?
Hmm.
I would means that is the analogy I would give that while CXL is coming into the picture, right?
And I guess with that CXL, because you were mentioning the black holes, like, that's something that humans weren't really able to do, like, let's say 15 years ago.
Yes.
What would that what would that ability of the CXL and let's say combining all of the power of five racks or let's say you combine the power of a whole data center into one engine or one, computing power
System.
together, what
Yes.
would you be able to accomplish that we can't do now?
First of all, basically data is the key to every damn thing in the world right now. If you ask me,
True.
you do anything, you get a data about that and you analyze them and you can predict what is going to happen next. Okay. Whatever data you have collected so far, right? So having said that, with this kind of technology, what is coming into the market, what this can achieve is that processing can get shot very easily because you have so much compute and so much data availability that you can do anything. Say you I'm talking about now that Tesla is going for autonomous vehicle thing, right?
Yes.
I'm giving you one simple example. Say multiple cars are going and they are all kind of automated autonomous cars, right?
Yes.
That processing what is required that to analyze that which car is near to me and how do I kind of go fast and all those things, right? How I can kind of make a way to go to my destination and all those things. Right now, this is not people are thinking about, and that is going to be helped by this technology what is coming. Okay, that processing power and decision making you can do very in the wink of your eye. Okay, at that point in time. Okay.
That's actually really powerful because, from my understanding, the way these systems operate now is like, let's say, because you've probably both sat in a Tesla. You see it's detecting the kids or the other cars. It's
Yes.
just using the hardware and the software that usually gets remotely installed. That's just on that car.
Correct.
Now, if it could draw, if we, this is kind of connected with 5G and things make this possible, if it could
Correct.
tap into that CXL kind of
Yes.
computing power that you're talking about, it could
Yes.
just make so many devices so much more intelligent. And I think it's like a lot of technologies that are like the base, like the 4G or the
Yes.
5G. When they were created, people couldn't see what it would become, but it opens
Yes.
up the door to all these new things.
Correct. I agree. Yeah. So with that, I'm kind of I could give you one simple like, analogy. Whatever sci-fi movie you have seen, right?
Yeah.
That will become reality. Okay. In
Oh,
that way,
geez.
because yeah, data movement and data decision making, right, is the
Yes.
key to everything wherever you go in the future as well. Okay.
It would it kind of be like what was that movie? The one with Tom Cruise where they have like so much data they basically predict, they're like trying to predict whether or not people are gonna commit crimes, whether or not someone's like a good or bad person. It just kind of, I don't know, those sci-fi
Yeah, yeah,
movies. You
yeah.
mentioned
That
that it
that
made
was
me
real.
think of it.
Means, yeah, I also remember the movie, but name I don't remember.
It's
It
one of
was
those
really
things I'll have to
amazing.
look up
Yes,
later.
correct, correct. So those kind of things you will be able to predict very fast, and not only that, decision making. And if you ask me, Chat GPT.
Yes.
Currently, the market is really hot with that, right?
Yeah,
Right?
everyone's super
There is,
excited.
yeah, yeah. So looking at that, right? They are using large language model, okay, to execute any of the question or any of the answer they are generating. They are using large language model, and that large language model is running on some GPUs, and they are using some data from the storage, right?
Yes.
Right? So those things will be way faster than what you can think of once that CXL thing comes into the picture. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah.
even we're still kind of in the baby steps, it sounds like, with this CXL.
Yes. Yes. Where it is means it is a nascent right now. It is kind of just born, and few startups started working on them, and few big companies are also started working on their CXL products.
I
Yeah.
see. So I guess kind of segueing, kind of the whole start of our conversation initially is like you want to kind of stay in that CXL space. Where do you see your career kind of going in the future and your maybe future projects you're willing to take on?
So what means if you ask me, product on top of CXL, if you
I
look
see.
at, you create new and very innovative product on top of CXL, and that products is going to serve a really fantastic world of data. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, where the decision making and everything, all the machine learning and AI models will run like they are running on a single system. Okay, and they
Okay.
are responding like this. Okay, quickly. Yeah. So that is where I'm looking at my career at, right? That using the CXL, bringing the product which will really help the community to bring all the intelligence together,
I see.
right?
And maybe just because I have kind of a big network, because I'm going to put this on YouTube and LinkedIn and anyone, I guess, that really knows anyone, are there any, like, let's say companies in particular that, you feel like, oh, wow, they're doing something really interesting, really innovative, um, that really caught your eye?
So far, everybody is trying to set up that infrastructure right now.
I see.
But I'm bringing this notion to bring that thought process to start thinking about the product on top of CXL. Okay, so that is the reason I just bring it in here right now. Okay,
I see.
but right now the infrastructure has to change first. Okay, which is not yet in the market. So all the hardware vendors like Supermicro and Intel and everybody
Hmm.
is trying to bring that CXL protocol in their core itself, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so it sounds like, unfortunately, maybe this happens and has happened many times in the Valley. Even my own dad had a startup way back in the dot-com bubble. When the investors cannot, maybe they don't see the future, even if the idea is really good, even if the team is really good, And especially in our recessionary environment, which he had the same problem after 9/11. Many startups all of a sudden died in the dot-com bust. Um, you know, even if you have everything going for you correctly and it's all set up, there's these external factors you can't control, and that's just kind of the
Yes.
nature of the beast sometimes, and that's kind of,
Yeah.
left you where you're at.
Yeah, but that is where, like I would tell that that is where all the adrenaline rush comes in, right? Let's
Yes.
bring something, right? If you
Yeah.
ask me, I this has given me one idea that why Pavilion got kind of the fate what it has got, right? The
Yes.
reason is simple. Investors must have seen that CXL is coming. Okay,
Yes.
creating a separate appliance for storage, and that is too on the different technology, right? That is going to be killing thing in the market. Nobody is going to buy in the future if you take down the line, say 4 to 5 years from
Yeah.
now, right? So that also one of the factor I'm assuming that they would have thought about. Okay, right?
Maybe for whatever reason, one of, people in my family, they're involved in different startups. So one of the ones they're involved with now, the end goal is, to be bought out. And
Yes,
that's the goal of many of investors and founders is they want their exit
correct.
strategy, obviously. So
Yes,
maybe the problem is if everybody's aiming to build up, CXL could be this massive, and sounds like it will be a massive technology in the future, but if everyone's creating an internal solution, unfortunately maybe they just couldn't see they're too scared of the Googles and the Intels and everyone just kind of you know crushing you know
yes.
crushing down on them or something. But
So So if you ask me, my point of view will be different at that point. Now big boys are already trying to invest into this CXL technology, right?
okay.
So startups mindset should go now to create product on top of it. Okay,
Uh-huh.
start building that because that is the way you can be ahead of the big boys and give them the idea that okay guys, we are coming with a new thing, you bring the platform, we are going to run our product on that, right?
There's actually kind of like an idea that I was watching, it was like a year ago. Jeff Bezos, he made a video where he's like, the startups are like, if you've ever surfed, it's like a wave. So you actually need to start swimming way in front of the
Yes,
wave.
yes.
So
Correct.
that's kind of what you're proposing is anybody that's listening that actually has an idea or you're, um, thinking of some kind of product, think about incorporating the CXL as part of your kind of future solution. Because if you're,
Yes.
this is something I was talking with a founder just like last week, and he has his hands in a couple startups, and he was saying like you need to be like 5, 10 years ahead and work backwards. You need to
That is
mentally,
what.
yeah.
Yes.
So if people that in 5 years from now say, "Oh, I should throw my product on CXL," you've already missed the wave.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, that is the thing you need to keep in mind completely. Uh,
Yeah.
like
It is just kind of interesting how all these things are going to develop. And I think even now with all the recessions, a lot of people are in my inbox. People are scared. Yeah, I mean, even I was telling you too, like, we're still not seeing this massive economic downturn that they keep telling us. We're
yes.
not seeing the layoffs are like concentrated in a couple startups and a couple large companies. And I feel like this shedding of these large companies and some of these startups is going to like give birth to this new wave that we're going to see coming for like the 2020s,
Yes.
and
Correct. Yes, you're right.
it's hard to predict what's going to happen, but we're still seeing the inflation is going down slowly. The economy just, I think last month added 500,000 jobs from
Yes.
2012 to 2018 or 2019, like some of the best times on record. The
Yes.
economy added 250,000 jobs a month. So we're double
Correct.
2012 times, which, I mean, you've been in technology for a while, longer than myself. Was that a good year?
Yes. It is. It
Yeah.
is good. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. 2020, from what I've heard, a lot of people said 2012 to 2019 was a good time. It was like
Yes,
a
I agree. I
gold
agree.
rush.
Yes, gold rush. California is always gold rush, man. Actually, if you ask me.
Yeah, that's true.
Right?
1849, 2049, doesn't
Yes,
matter.
yes,
Just
yes,
maybe
correct.
the commodity changes.
Yeah. So one more perspective, Blake, I want to give to the people who just got laid off. Right.
Okay.
The thing is that don't think that they have been suffered because of short-sightedness of the company. Okay.
Hmm.
Every organization has a kind of strategy, right? And
Yeah.
right now, if you look at the market, is filled with the AI technologies. Okay,
Yes.
if you think every company has to sit back and start looking at their strategy at the from the perspective of AI and ML,
Hmm.
how they can incorporate and how they can bring it into the this thing, real is, means normal stream of the products, right?
Hmm.
And from that perspective, the current generation of the people in the team, they
Hmm.
have to reskill and then go back to the those company again, I would say that. Okay. And that way they can also add value to the company. And
Hmm.
yes, those companies are already kind of looking at the those kind of mindset that okay, yes, we have to go to the next generation of our products which are AI and ML enabled, kind of, right?
Of course.
Yeah, so that is what I have been kind of analyzing, that they have to reset their strategy because of this, and in due to that, the side effect is the layoff, and soon my understanding is soon they will start rehiring the people who are kind of fitting into that strategy what they are going to come back up with, right?
Of course.
Yeah.
I mean, I would 100% agree. Like in the tech industry, you constantly need to be upskilling. I mean, even in the
Yes.
sales side, recruiting side that I'm involved in,
Everywhere.
if I'm not, I mean, I'm doing certificates, I'm staying up on the news, I'm reading things. If
Yes.
you're not, the problem is the technology, every year it's changing. And if you don't update with
Yes.
it and you don't understand what's going on, you're going to be left
Yes.
behind.
Yes, I would say that the guy who is in the 2020 is now kind of dinosaur of IT industry. Okay,
Yeah,
I can say that if somebody did not updated their knowledge and whatever is going on in the industry, they are going to be the dinosaur, because here I would say that 3 months is kind of a year in the
yeah,
IT industry. Okay, things change so fast, so churn of knowledge is happening, that these are the timeline I can think of. Okay.
hmm I, I mean, I would agree with you, especially with some of my clients that are doing more like that are in like the AI, the data engineering, the machine learning space. It's like
Yes.
each, and I think too, like we're gonna live through kind of a scary time, like a good but a scary time in human history where our ability to do things is increasing so fast, like faster than ever before, that
Yes.
we have to be, unfortunately, like okay with change. So I have some people in my
Yes.
network, let's say they've been at the same company 5 years or 10 years, and maybe they haven't been upskilling and they're like
Yes.
having a hard time
Correct.
in the market. Your advice is definitely really good. There's many low cost options out there
Yes.
to like, reskill yourself. Whether
Yes.
it's going to be through coding, just general knowledge. I mean, there's things like Coursera and Flatiron and just many options out
Yes.
there that I can tell you that even people getting jobs at like Meta, getting jobs at Google, getting jobs at really high-end startups,
Yes.
they're you don't need to go back and get a 4-year degree. You just need to
Yes.
have that hands-on. Once you have experience, you just need that hands-on skill, like
Yes.
yourself or I mean other
Yes.
people I've talked with. They do a 3, 4 week kind of like programming boot camp or something, depending on which field
Yes.
they're in, and all of a sudden,
Correct.
boom, you know,
Yes.
they're updated, they're ready to go for the next four or
Yeah.
five years.
Yeah, I agree, completely agree, Blake. And that is what the positive thought process you need to keep, and try to try to go through this downturn, and means this is going to be a part of your life, because in past 20 years, right, 20 25 years, right, you have around 3 or 4 downturn like this, right?
Yeah,
This fortunately this did not hit the level of recession what we had in the 2008 and the 2000
yeah,
dot com bubble, right?
completely,
So
Completely
So
different.
that is a completely different, and you can kind of take it to the next level once you reskill and upskill yourself,
Of course.
right? Yeah.
I think that's definitely a good, like, you've kind of been out there looking, and unfortunately other people in my network have been out there looking, and it is,
Yes.
it is tougher than it was. I mean, we
Yes.
got really used to the COVID times when people were just getting some of the craziest offers that we've ever seen, for some of the most basic roles. And
Yes.
now I think things are coming back to reality a little bit.
Yes.
Even the tech industry has had a reputation of being immune to the economy, and now, that's kind of catching up. It's been
Yes. Yes.
it's
I
been
agree.
its own animal for so long. Even during
Yes.
2008, it was bad, but now we're
Yes.
starting to see the technology is having to get in line with the economy as a whole, because the economy as a whole, technology is not this segmented thing. It's already in so many aspects of the economy. I
Yes.
think if you kind of see what I'm getting at, that
Yes.
um,
I understand.
technology is now,
Part
it's
of
going to be
economy. Part
affected
of
by all
economy.
the other factors in the economy.
Yes. Means technology is now taking completely really good role in the economic movements, I would say.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
And
I
that's
understand that completely. And another thing which I would add to your thing is which doesn't kill is going to make you stronger. Okay.
that's true.
So be strong, man.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
No, it's
Yeah.
I'd like to, yeah, thank you for kind of taking that time out, the time to
Yes.
talk. We talked about a lot of different good subjects, and I'm gonna mark it when I post it, but definitely I think that 5 minutes you took to just kind of like, that was from the heart, telling other
Yes.
people out there in the market what's going on. I think that's really important, and it's going to be a good message for a lot of people, to not kind of
Yes.
lose hope right now.
Yeah, correct. It means IT industry is the one which has changed whole industrial revolution, right?
Hmm.
So if you are in that industry, then you don't have to be, losing hope. Okay.
Yeah, of course.
Yep.
Well, Yatindra, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out today to talk with me, and anyone in my network, that was interested in what Yatindra had to talk about. Feel free to reach out to Yatindra or myself. I can get you in contact with him, give you his contact info. But I'm gonna link you in here, Yatindra, so people can reach out directly, and you can, even if people just have questions in general. Yatindra is a very smart guy. He'd be glad to, pick your
Yep.
ear about it.
Yeah, definitely, Blake. So I appreciate your time as well. Okay. Thank you.
Well, thank you for taking the time out today, and you have a great day. Okay, Yatindra?
Yeah, you too. Take care.